All right, real quick, I want to talk about the battle of the century that is going on right now, which is the FEMISPHERE, basically the woke feminists out there, the woke mob, the leftists out there who are pushing all of this elitism. The feminists versus the manosphere, okay? Or as I like to call it, the FEMISPHERE versus the manosphere. Okay, this is just an ongoing battle that has really just began in the last probably like 5 to 7 years, probably less than a decade it started, right? Less than a decade. And right now they have all of the advantages, right? The Femisphere has all of the advantages. They have the mainstream media in their back pockets. They have Hollywood celebrities in their back pockets, pop stars, late night talk show hosts, you name it, corporations. They are in their back pockets and they're doing their bidding. Okay, and not only that, but they also have these social media platforms in their back pockets because they are overwhelmingly left and they are overwhelmingly wanting to destroy the patriarchy. So they have all of the odds in their favor and more, whereas the manosphere does not, right? We can't speak out. We can't go on these late night talk show hosts. They won't have most of us, right? They just won't have us. Matter of fact, they're constantly trying to cancel us, remove videos, ban videos. We have essentially all the cards stacked against us. Yet, we are still winning this war, right? We're still winning this war, and we're definitely winning all the small battles too, right? Because anytime any of them from the Femisphere tries to come in and debate anyone from the Manosphere, they get utterly destroyed, don't they? Right? You watch clips on YouTube of like any feminists or woke leftists or modern women coming on to debate men on why they feel this way about women and why, having lots of past sexual partners just destroys your value as a woman, and why chasing your career and foregoing having a family in your 20s is a bad idea. I mean, they get destroyed in these debates, right? Even though they have everyone at their backs, they totally get destroyed, and we don't. We're constantly being shut down, we're being quieted, we're being silenced, right? Because there's a battle going on right now, with the Femisphere, which is really a social construct. They always like to talk about how our traditional roles were social constructs. No, those were not social constructs. Feminism is a social construct. I've always said that. That is absolutely a social construct because that's only been around less than 50 years. That got started in the mid-60s. I mean, we have historical data on that, on who started that. And she was like essentially a fat harpy, right, that was jealous of basically stay-at-home wives who got to stay home because they were attractive enough to get a husband who was willing to allow them to stay home while he went to work and took care of all the bills. She was pretty angry about that because she was, again, an unattractive fat harpy. You could look her up for yourself. I forget her name. And she started feminism. Oh, yeah, you're in ball and chains, ladies. You gotta get out of the house. Freedom is not having a man because she couldn't get one. Right? So feminism is 100% a social construct because it came from this, this overweight sludge in the 60s. And our traditional gender roles were not social constructs. They came from evolution, right? They came from evolution. And if you go back thousands of years, when we were living in caves, the women back then, and even if this were to happen today, we're not out there hunting the mammoth, the woolly mammoths, or the dangerous animals so that they can eat. No, women were doing the gathering, right? They would just go and like get fruits and just berries and just bring them back. They weren't going out there with their spears and hunting out these big animals because if they did, they would probably be killed, right? Or they just would not be effective, right? You needed the men to do this because why? Because we're just stronger, right? I mean, we have upper body strength first of all. We're faster, we're quicker, we're more violent, right? It's just part of how we evolved. Whereas women don't have that. And I will tell you right now, if an asteroid were to come down and just plummet this earth, look how beautiful it is out here in South Orange County. If the asteroid came down here and just destroyed the earth, right? And we had to go back to living in caves and hunting animals all over again. If we're put right back to where we started, regardless of all the technological advances we've lived with and we've had in our lives for many years that we grew up with, if the asteroid hit and we had to go back to living in caves, do you think these women would grab their spear and go out there and hunt like dangerous animals that can kill them? No. Right? They would go back and be like, no, I'm going to just gather fruits and berries and just sit here and do what I need to do to just survive, right? And we'll rely on the men. And some people think, some like dumbass feministas in the comments might be like, well, no, that wouldn't happen, and you don't have proof of that. Actually, I do. How do I know this would happen? You guys ever watch Bear Grylls Island, Men versus Women? Watch that episode, right? Where they put men versus women on this island in the middle of nowhere. And you could see the struggles of these women on this island. I mean, they were just, it was getting to the point where I think a couple of them had to be rescued by the producers or something, essentially the camera crew or something, because she was getting dehydrated. They were just making a lot of bonehead survival mistakes. And they were starting to get very hungry because they didn't have food. They didn't kill anything. I think they eventually ended up killing a pig or something. But the men were thriving. They devised a net for fishing. They learned how to. They had disagreements, but they learned how to work together. Meanwhile, the women's group, there's like this infighting, sabotaging. I mean, it's just very reflective of how we are as men and women. We are not the same. We are completely different, and there's a reason why we're different, right? And that's not a social construct. That is just evolution, right? That is how God designed us, because God wants us to survive as long as possible. So there is a big battle going on right now, and as much as the feministas out there and the FEMISPHERE, everyone who's part of that is trying to shut down the MANOSPHERE, they can't, because all we do, and I've said this before, all we do is speak the truth, right? And at the end of the day, that's what real men will always want. They will just want to get to the facts and the truth. Meanwhile, the left is just, they're spreading lies, okay? And this is one thing that guys hate. We don't like to be lied to, right? Unless you're a beta, unless you have more estrogen than testosterone, you're going to want those lies, right? You're never going to improve yourself. You're never going to improve your life. It's going to be a very depressing life, as many guys on the left live, right? They live very depressing lives, right? I've seen these guys. I mean, I grew up in San Francisco, so I know a lot of these guys, and what's happened to them. They're still angry. They're still mad at the world. These guys are like my age, closing in on 50, and they've spent their lives just like, constantly angry at other humans and, for driving gas-powered cars or not to, staying true to their masculinity. It's a crap-ass life. However, we're winning, right? We're winning because all we do is spread the truth. And no matter how much they try to shut us down or throw these labels at us, because they can't actually debate, they won't debate most times, right? And when they do, they get destroyed. They throw out these labels: misogynist, racist, homophobe, xenophobe. I mean, it's these words have no meaning anymore. Hates women. Where's the proof of that? That's all you have to do is call him out on it. Go, okay, there's no evidence of that. Do you have evidence of him saying this or doing this? He just is. Do you watch his videos? He just is. Well, where's the action? Okay, show me. Right? And show me a clip that's not taken out of context. Oh my God, did you see what he's supporting him? That's what they do. This is why they are just losing. And eventually they will lose the final battle at some point, right? Because good always triumphs over evil. I know they love to think that they're the good side. You can't really sit there and believe you're the good side when you're spreading lies. when you refuse to debate anybody who's on the opposite side that has truths or facts. When you all you want to do is stay in your echo chamber and not listen to any dissenting opinions. Right? You can't claim you're the good side. You're the bad side. You're the evil side. Why? Because you're lying. Whether you think you know you're consciously lying, which many of them I believe they do, right? But I really believe a lot of them are psychopaths, like sociopaths at this point, right? Besides complete narcissists, right? A lot of them. I mean, just because I teach so much self-development, and I've done so many studies on narcissistic personality disorder. I mean, you could even look this up on Google, like the top 10 traits to identify someone's a narcissist, and then you apply that to anyone on the left, any feminist, any woke idiot out there, climate change activists. You notice this just fits them to a perfect T. It fits them to a perfect T. The arrogance, the unwilling to listen to anybody else, shutting down voices, wanting to stay in an echo chamber, this bravado that they're right, ganging up on people. Lack of self-awareness, it all goes in line with that. So you don't see that really on the right. Yeah, can some of the guys on the in the manosphere be cocky, be a little arrogant? Of course, but there's always a sense of humility with it, right? There's this almost this humbleness about it, right? Where that they're not afraid to laugh at themselves, and many times they will poke fun at themselves. I do it to myself, right? I laugh at myself all the time. I'm not afraid to poke fun at myself or joke about myself. It's fine. Whereas anyone on the left or anyone part of the FEMISPHERE, they won't, right? They don't want to be mocked. They don't want to be laughed at. They don't want to be joked, because if you do any of that stuff, you hate women. You hate women. It's like, no, I'm just trying to be a little lighthearted with our debate here. It's like, no. And I noticed that too. The people in the manosphere, usually when we debate somebody, it's not really, or we call somebody out, it's not mean-spirited. It's usually, if we're not sticking to the facts, most times we stick to the facts, but whenever we're going off the facts and we're inserting our opinion, it's very lighthearted, right? If we say anything that's joking or humorous, it's very lighthearted, very playful. It's not designed to make this person feel bad about themselves. Whereas people in the FEMISPHERE, it is designed to make you feel bad about yourself, or pick on something you can't control, or it's just always something about your physical appearance, or something about your family that they've never met, right? It's always something very mean-spirited and kind of despicable, right? I mean, it's like they really go dirty on you, right? They go dirty on you, and it just shows just the classlessness, right? Whereas most guys in the manosphere, most of the content creators, they don't go dirty on you, right? And if it feels like they are, it's because they're really just wanting to give you the facts, right? They're just trying to give you the facts about something you're wrong about. They're not even trying to go dirty on you. They get passionate because you've been fed lies and you don't want to hear the truth. So there's a huge disparity on how the FEMISPHERE operates versus the manosphere. But this battle has been going on for the last 5-7 years now, almost a decade, and it's going to keep going. But eventually, we're going to win this battle, because the truth always comes out, right? People will always want the truth, and that's my prediction. And as always, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of today's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, anything I missed, drop them in the comments below. As always, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash that notification bell as well. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And do it for the algorithm. Do it now. And for you guys who want to support my work, if I'm enlightening you, if I'm educating you, if I'm making you a better, smarter man, the best way to support me is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets program. Right now it's only $1, and all you need to do is click the link in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, and you're going to be able to access premium AlphaMaleSecrets content from me that you won't find here on my channel. So take advantage of it and click the link below, go to my website, get signed up, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.